If your bell pepper plants keep stalling out, with tiny fruit, sunburnt sides, and leaves covered in weird spots, you are not alone. Most home gardeners plant peppers solo, but the real secret to harvesting massive, thick-walled giants is what you grow all around them. Picture basil clumps 12 inches from each stem, their scent throwing pests off track, or marigold roots quietly killing off underground attackers before you even see warning signs. The difference between a handful of struggling peppers and a basket too heavy to carry comes down to choosing the right neighbors, and missing this turns even the sunniest bed into a disappointment. So why do bell peppers need an ecosystem of allies just to survive? And how did gardeners figure out these game-changing pairings? The answers might surprise you. Bell peppers look tough, with those thick green leaves and glossy fruit, but they are surprisingly fussy about their growing conditions. Unlike tomatoes, which bounce back from a little neglect, peppers demand a long, warm season, usually 70 to 90 days from transplant to harvest, with steady moisture and full sun from start to finish. Miss a week of watering, or let the soil dry out, and you will often see flowers drop or fruit shrivel before it even gets going. Too much shade, and the plants stretch tall but barely set any peppers at all. But even when you nail the basics, there is a whole army of pests lining up for a bite. Aphids cluster on new leaves and stems, sucking out sap and spreading viruses that stunt growth. Thrips slip between petals, scarring young fruit and leaving it pockmarked. Spider mites spin webs under the leaves during hot, dry spells, turning foliage yellow and brittle. Hornworms, those big green caterpillars, can chew through a plant overnight, leaving only bare stems behind. And it is not just the insects, root knot nematodes, invisible to the naked eye, invade from below and choke out roots, causing plants to wilt no matter how much you water. Sun scald is another sneaky problem. When intense midday sun hits exposed peppers, it can bleach patches right through the skin, turning them soft and papery. Without enough leaf cover or the right neighbors to provide a little shade, even healthy plants can lose half their crop to these pale, sunburned spots. As one extension agent likes to put it, peppers want a sunbath, not a sunburn. If you want those big, crunchy, sweet peppers, you have to protect them from all sides, above and below, bugs and weather alike. Long before bell peppers showed up in backyard gardens and grocery bins, their wild ancestors were thriving under the hot sun of central Mexico. Archaeologists have traced Capsicum annuum, the species behind today's sweet peppers, back at least 7,000 years, with ancient farmers gathering them alongside squash and maize in the Tehuacan Valley. These weren't solo crops either. Early growers understood that planting different species together could make the most of rough soils and unpredictable weather. In North America, the Iroquois developed the Three Sisters method, corn, beans, and squash working as a team. Corn shot up tall and sturdy, beans climbed their stalks and pumped nitrogen into the soil, while squash sprawled out, shading roots and blocking weeds. It was a living system, not just a patchwork of plants. This idea, mixing crops to help each other, spread far beyond the Americas. Chinese and Egyptian farmers used similar tricks over 1,000 years ago, tucking pungent herbs among vegetables to keep bugs at bay. Medieval European kitchen gardens wove onions, garlic, and chives through their beds for the same reason. Even before anyone could explain why it worked, gardeners saw the results: fewer pests, richer soil, and sturdier harvests. Today, research has put these old observations under the microscope. Lab tests confirm that bean roots, when noduled up with rhizobia bacteria, pull nitrogen straight from the air, feeding neighbors like peppers without a single scoop of fertilizer. Marigold roots ooze out natural chemicals that wipe out root knot nematodes, invisible worms that strangle pepper roots. Science has caught up with tradition, showing that the right plant partnerships can build a mini ecosystem around each pepper, handling pests, soil health, and even shade, all without chemicals. The next step is simple: picking the best allies for your own garden. Basil is the classic pepper partner for a reason. Tuck a basil plant about 12 inches from each pepper stem, close enough for the leaves to mingle, but not so close they crowd for sun. As basil grows, it releases aromatic oils that drift through the air, making it tough for thrips and hornworms to sniff out your peppers. One extension entomologist says, "Basil's scent throws pests off the trail. They get confused and keep searching." Chives work in a similar way, their sharp-scented leaves repelling aphids and spider mites. Plant chives in small clumps 12 inches out from your peppers and let them fill in as a living border. Cilantro deserves a spot too, especially if you let some bolt and flower. Those tiny white umbels are magnets for parasitic wasps and hoverflies, natural predators that hunt down aphids right on your pepper plants. Dill and parsley, planted 8 to 12 inches away, offer the same nectar buffet for beneficial insects. Oregano and rosemary bring sturdy, low-growing cover and strong scents that help mask pepper signals from pests. Rosemary prefers a bit more space, 18 inches out, so it does not shade your crop, but its needles pump out volatile oils that linger in the air, reinforcing the aromatic barrier. With these 7 herbs, you are not just seasoning your future salsa, you are building a living shield around every pepper. Marigolds are the heavy hitters when it comes to underground defense. Their roots pump out thiophenies, natural chemicals that are toxic to root knot nematodes. These microscopic pests can wipe out a whole pepper patch from below, but a ring of French marigolds planted 18 to 24 inches from your pepper stems acts like a living force field. Let the marigolds fill in as a border. Their roots do the dirty work, clearing out nematodes before they ever reach your peppers. Nasturtiums pull double duty. Their broad lily pad leaves lure aphids and thrips away from pepper plants, working as a classic trap crop. Aphids pile onto nasturtium stems instead of your peppers, and you can just pinch off infested leaves or pull the whole plant once it's loaded. Keep nasturtiums about a foot from your peppers, close enough to tempt pests, but not so close that they crawl right back. Geraniums round out the flower team. Their strong scent repels beetles and leafhoppers, while their dense leaves shade peppers from harsh midday sun. Place geraniums a good 12 to 15 inches away to avoid crowding, especially in containers. With this trio, marigolds below, nasturtiums as decoys, geraniums as beetle bouncers, you are building a wall of natural protection. No sprays required. Bush beans are the secret workhorses for bell peppers. Tuck a row of bush beans just 8 to 10 inches from your pepper stems, close enough for their leaves to brush when the wind blows, but not so close they crowd for sunlight. Hidden below the soil, bean roots form little white nodules packed with rhizobium bacteria. These nodules pull nitrogen straight from the air and share it with every plant nearby, including your peppers. That means richer, darker leaves, and thicker-walled fruit, all without a scoop of synthetic fertilizer. One county fair champion likes to dig up a bean root mid-season and show off the nodules, proof that the system is working. Carrots slip in easily between peppers and beans, their slender roots loosening the soil and letting water soak down to thirsty pepper roots. Keep carrots about 6 inches away from each stem. Leafy greens, like spinach or lettuce, fit along the shadier north edge, where their broad leaves act as living mulch, shading the soil and locking in moisture. Radishes work fast, breaking up the surface soil and finishing before peppers even start to flower. Alliums, onions, and garlic slot in at the bed's edge, 12 inches out, their sharp scent helping to keep aphids and thrips at bay. With this mix, you are not just planting a pepper patch, you are building a self-sustaining engine for giant harvests. Some neighbors spell trouble for bell peppers. No matter how rich your soil or how careful your watering, fennel tops the list. Its roots release chemicals that stunt pepper growth and can even stop seedlings in their tracks. Brassicas like broccoli, cabbage, and cauliflower are heavy feeders. They grab the same nutrients your peppers need and leave them hungry. Kohlrabi crowds roots and saps moisture before peppers can reach it. Skip planting peppers where any of these crops grew last season, especially if you are rotating beds to avoid soil-borne diseases. Even other nightshades, like tomatoes, eggplant, or potatoes, should take a year off from sharing space, since they pass along root problems and wilt diseases that linger in the soil. Keeping these troublemakers at arm's length protects all the gains you have built with good companions. A winning pepper bed works like a team, not a crowd. Imagine a layered layout. Peppers claim the sunny center, with open space around each stem for airflow, no leaves pressed tight, no stems tangled. Herbs and flowers form the next ring, creating a living shield that lets breezes slip through while blocking pests and harsh sun. Taller companions, like bush beans, stay to the north or east, so they never cast shade over your peppers. Leafy greens fill in where roots won't compete, hugging the bed's edge or tucking into container corners. This pattern keeps every plant working its job, prevents disease from jumping plant to plant, and gives each pepper room to stretch, flower, and set fruit you will need both hands to hold. Right now, every raised bed or patio pot is a chance to grow peppers that stun your neighbors without a drop of chemicals. As more gardeners discover how marigolds, basil, and beans team up underground and above, the future of backyard food looks bigger, greener, and a whole lot sweeter. Happy planting!